Hello? 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 Good morning, everyone. And thank you for coming. I believe once our dignitaries are seated, the students who the program is for are being kings and queens. And so we will wait for them. As we wait, we will start our program. You were supposed to be seated at 9. And it's now 10:15, and most of you are still not here. Kindly text them and tell them that we are starting. Thank you. I welcome all of you to the annual seminar series that we've been having for the past 4 years. And so today we have a lot to deal with. And so without much ado, I'll invite Mr. Prince Adu-Gyamfi Kyeremeh to give us the opening prayer.
With all humility, let us be upstanding if we can. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful to you. We thank you for the gift of life. And Lord, we bless you for the many years of our academic journeys. We specifically thank you for our final year students who have spent 4 years over here. And very soon, they'll be living and going out into the world to work. And it is for this reason we have gathered to equip them so that they will be able to take control of their wells. We pray, therefore, in the name of Jesus, that you take control of our gathering here this morning. We lift all the speakers into your hands. We pray that you will help us to ensure that the purpose of our gathering is fully fulfilled, so that we will have every cause to give you praise and thanks. We are so grateful for an answered prayer. In the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus, we have prayed. Amen.
Thank you very much, Elder Adu-Gyamfi. We'll call on Madam Akosua to introduce the chair for the program. Can we give her a hand of applause as she comes?
Principal, Her Worship, the College Secretary, the College FO, senior members present, students, good morning to you all. This morning we are blessed to meet here with the idea of trying to learn and unlearn. And we are privileged to have our own principal to be the chairperson. And before I introduce, I just want to read something small about him. He is the principal of St. Mordecai's College of Education at Santimampo, an accomplished educationist, a researcher, and Anglican priest whose career spans education, research, and ministry. He obtained his bachelor's education in agriculture from the University of Education in Winneba in 2006. Followed by a master's degree in animal science education in 2007. In 2012, he undertook theological leadership training in the Anglican Leadership Institution, South Carolina, USA, earning a certificate in leadership. In 2015, he began his doctorate degree in animal science education, specializing in animal reproductive physiology. He was awarded a degree in 2019. Dr. David Korankye has contributed extensively to basic, secondary, and tertiary education. He taught in St. Monica's SHS for a period of 10 years, and he became the assistant headmaster in that school. In 2018, he joined the Anglican University College of Theology at Nkoranza as a part-time lecturer. Currently, to make it short, he is the principal of St. Monica's College of Education, married to a beautiful Mamefia, blessed with 4 children. With a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Dr. Venerable David Korankye, the principal of the college, to chair this occasion. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I shall call on the principal to give his acceptance speech. You can just...
Thank you very much. Madam Akosua, thank you for my profile. I think I have to connect to you and get this profile about me, because they look scattered on my CVs, but you have put it together for me. Thank you so much. Married to a Fia with 4 children. We just concluded a leadership training program in Washington, D.C. last week. So I returned back to campus on Friday. And one of our facilitators wanted to ask each one of us what you think you should be noted for and what is unique about you. Then my turn, I said, I am a reproductive physiologist. I study how reproduction can be rare, both in body anatomy and everything. But what is unique about me is also my background as a reproductive physiologist. By the grace of God, helped me to give birth to triplets. So I'm always happy to be known as the father of a set of triplets. And it comes with a burden. So the most burdened person. So we thank the Lord so much that is giving us opportunity to be here. And once again, this program taking place, which is our annual program, and I've been asked to chair. Actually, this program and my presence here has fought between 2 things. I was badly needed at a table this morning, but I had to pray over the night and see either to be here or to be at a table. God told me that for the first time, try and be inward. Inward. I'm a preacher, I preach against inwardness. But God say be inward. So by the grace of God, I am here. And all of us are also here to listen to what is in stock for us for today. I pray that both staff and students will take what is going to take place seriously because it is going to open a lot of doors for us in terms of what we know and what we can do. On that, I say I wholeheartedly accept to chair the program. Help me to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc, for accepting to chair the program. As we move on, I want to introduce the dignitaries who are here so far. A lot of people were invited, and I'm sure they are on their way coming. So the principal is here, who is the chair for the program, Dr. David Okyere Korankye, who is also a Reverend Minister. We have Her Worship Janet Ahomka Yeboah. She's a former student of St. Monica's College of Education and now a district court judge at Agona in the Sechere, is it Sechere West? Sechere South District, Municipal. So, Madam Her Worship, you are welcome. We have our college registrar, Mr. Emmanuel Amankwa, who is also in our midst. In fact, Mr. Amankwa has been very phenomenal in all of these programs. I remember the first one we have, he was the first speaker then 4 years ago. So, Mr. Amankwa, thank you very much for always being with us. We have our college finance officer, Mr. Isaac Osekwatan, who is also in our midst. When I went to him that morning and said, Papa, I want you to come and speak, he said, I would come. And I was so excited. He did not argue at all with me. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Simon Boateng is here. You know, we are brothers. And even though he's gone in physical, he's always with me. We still do it, our thing. So, Doc, you're welcome. He's the former head of department, two before I came. So, we've been doing our thing. And he initiated, we were having a conversation. I think when it's time, I would talk about how this whole program started. So thank you very much, Doc. We have our Dean of Students, Madam Ya Asantoa Bediakon. She has also always been part of this. Madam, thank you very much for always being there for us. We have Madam Isuman Doris. Madam Doris Isumin from the Sciences Department. Then Madam Betty Boah from the Mass IT Department. And my own brother, I've forgotten your name. Emmanuel Jan. Say, Onuonyami anotete. They said I'm a refugee. Then I have my colleague, the unit head for the RME unit, Mr. Adu-Gyamfi Kyeremeh, in our midst. Other colleagues are here at the back. I have Nana. I saw Nana. Nana, are you here? From Kesbin. Okay, I'm sure. Okay, Nana. Nana Onkwaso. You didn't see a Kumaso Nano Joda. It is all your hene, but more addressing us or hene. Nana, thank you for coming from Kesbin TV. And then my IT guys, Martin and Ernesto, thank you guys. Mr. Chum is here from the music and the choristers, and all my students. Please, you are all welcome. Patrick is also here, my main man. So you are all welcome, and thank you very much. We continue with the program. I don't want us to waste so much of our time. the purpose for this gathering to be done by myself. I am Bosco Okyere, the head of Department for Social Sciences, and with my team members, that is the staff of the Social Sciences Department. In fact, I started this with Dr. Simon Boateng. One day we were just having a conversation and we said, why is it that teachers are okay with the small money they give us? Why can't we have a program that probably when the students are about to leave, we will introduce them to the world? And then he suggested there's a program at Valley View called the World of Work, which is done for final year students, so we would adopt that. And then we started planning. And I remember the first batch we had 36 students who were there to do this. And 4 years now, every year we've been able to do this. And I want to thank Principal. It's quite costly sometimes, some of the things you may not see here. But anytime I go, he supports me with the finance officer and we do the things. Etoda na maboka kakra, but mintimi koka. Enti Papa Nyamishao. Please, this is a program that has been put together. Every day I say, all the certificates we are having, this is a first degree for all of us. You are fortunate. We went for this as a set A. Mommy had hers as set A. Yes, so we had ours as set A. When you have had this degree, there are 46 colleges in Ghana, and everybody is having the set A. Now, when you are looking for another thing, what would be an added advantage for you that I will pick you against the other person? And these are some of the things that we put together for you. And so this morning, we are here to deliberate on issues of life. Being in school is very different from being out there. Now you can call your mother and father for money, but after school, you will see that they will not mind you because you are now grown. So as you are going out there, there are a lot of things that you need to know, and that is why this program was put together for us. I do not know why most of the students are still not here, because as at yesterday, we've had over 250 students registering to be at the program. So please, we are here to listen to speeches and guidelines from people who have been in the system, who have had it from all the angles of life. And we have marriage issues, we have living in our community issues, we have finances, traveling abroad for academic purposes and for other purposes. And so some of the speakers are on their way coming, and I'm sure very soon all of them will be here. So I want to welcome all of you to the 4th edition of the World of Work seminar organized by the Social Sciences Department of St. Monica's College of Education. By media, we have Joy News. He called that he's on his way. We have Cars FM, he's also on his way. And Nana is here for Kesbin TV. Thank you very much for coming, and I welcome you once again to today's program. We move on to our first presentation, and I will not waste much time. We are looking at from campus to community, how young women can foster strong relationships for career growth. To do that is Dr. Simon Boateng, who is the former head of department for the social sciences and now a lecturer at AMMUSTED, KUMASI. Doc, you're welcome. Shall we give him a hand of applause?
Thank you very much, my brother Bosco, and good morning, everyone. The chair, I am very happy to be back home. Once in a while, it must be a must for a folk to come home. And for Monaco, like I keep saying, Monaco has become part of me. In fact, it has given me a very strong footing in my career. Monaco has made me competitive, and as I go through my talk within this short period, you would understand why I don't want to leave Monaco. It has made me everything. And I would want to share with you some few snipers of what I've gone through within these 1.5 decades of my professional life. I thank the chairman simply because I've worked with him. And one thing, if you want to get Dr. Korankye, be progressive. As HOD, as Quality Assurance, International Relations, another committee that I chaired or was a member, if you want to get him, be progressive, be smart, because somebody will say that he's pro-smart. When you suggest something and the thing is okay, I mean, you don't struggle to get him. Two people chopping the sikakakra, be progressive, as simple as that. And today I'm very happy he's here because I knew and I still know that he wouldn't leave programs like this for anything. I'm so hot for the past 3 weeks, no time, but Kwame gave me an invitation. I saw the people on the flyer. I said, no, I would have to leave everything and come. And I'm very happy the way Kwame and management are taking this program. We started it very small, and today gradually is growing. And looking at the profile, this program should have had a cost. Because I know my brother, we know ourselves, so we are political animals. Probably I don't have to say it here. Chartered accountant, strong one, knowledgeable, he's here. You are lucky to have a judge spending her time to be with you. And other high profile people. And I said, no, I need to associate myself here. Kwame said something, and I want to commence my speech or my talk with that. Now, after school, when you get your postings, all of you are going to start from principal superintendent. With the first degree, all of you are going to start as principal superintendent in the Ghana Education Service. The reality is that many studies have shown that after 5 years, even though you are starting as principal superintendent with the same basic salary, there are going to be differences among you in terms of status and achievement, and even money. After 5, even though you are going to take the same salary as principal superintendent, after 5 years, you will see a colleague and you will see that the gap between you and your colleague is like here in Konongo. In terms of even money, in terms of even qualification. And so the critical question here is, what brings that difference? And what brings the difference is what all of us are going to share with you. The 5 speakers are going to share with you, plus God's grace is going to bring that difference. And so if you have that opportunity to be here to listen to these speeches, don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly. I mean, make sure you embrace it and make sure you work and walk with it, because that is going to bring the difference. As I share with you, I have these 5 things that I have gone through, and I think these policies or these things, thematic areas have helped me for the past 1.5 decades. One, as you're starting your life in the community, I also want you to understand that the world of work is not a straight path. You get the point? You started your first degree to your 4th year. You've gotten it straight from 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, and just like that, you're almost done, and virtually you're going out. But the world of work is not like your first degree progression. It is not a straight path. It is zigzag. Because life, sometimes when you want to progress, you get some hitches here and there. But you have to be strategic in maneuvering these hindrances to be able to get to the top or the places you imagine to be. Now, in the world of work, as you're about to exit, you need, the first thing that you must do is try to imagine your end from this time. Hello? The first point is imagine your end. What you want to become before you die from now. If you don't have that thing, you're not going anywhere. Sometimes what you imagine becomes so fanciful. It looks funny. It looks unachievable. It is good and it is true. You want to become president. You want to become. This morning I just had a conversation with one of you, and the lady told me that she wants to become a minister for education. It looks fanciful, isn't it? Sometimes at your level it looks unachievable, but at least having that in mind gives you a framework that is going to guide you. If you have that framework in mind, you wouldn't do your things anyhow. I think when Madam started as set A, and she had something in the future, now she started as a teacher, now a judge, and I will talk about it in a very short while. And so begin to have something in you where you want to go. So you ask yourself, like principal said, the facilitator asks them, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to achieve in life? Imagine that. It will guide you. And you know what? If you're able to imagine, psychologists will tell you that we manifest the things we think through. Are you here with me? We manifest the things you think about is what shows. And so when you think about negatives, most of the times negatives happen to you. And that is why the pastors or the theologians will tell you, when you think about witches, you always get witches closer to you. If you think that your grandmom is disturbing you, always your grandmom will disturb you. But if you think positive, always you attract positive things. And so have that imagination. That is the first thing in the world of work. The second one is understand the reason why you'll be posted to the community you'll be posted to. And it's not for any other thing. Let me tell you for a fact that 90% of you will be posted to places that you don't like. Basically rural communities, and sometimes in these rural communities, these places are very hard to stay. You are going to sleep with ants and snakes in the rooms that you'll be posted to, or you are going to sleep. But understand the reason why you are posted to the communities that you are going to be posted to. Let me give you a typical example. When I finished my master's, I combed the world. I went to Winneba, went to the departmental interview, I passed, went to the faculty level, I passed. But when I left the room, they had discussion about me as interviews normally happen. And there was this lecturer in the room. Now he is the principal of Asim Fosu College of Education. Not knowing the discussion they had about me was that this guy is good, but for geography we have a lot of PhDs in the system. And because he doesn't have a PhD, we are not going to pick him. So this man came out and said, my guy, Charlie, you did well. You passed. For the passing, you passed. But the conclusion about you is that you don't have a PhD. I hope you get it. Go and have a PhD. I went to UDS, the same thing. I went to Offenso, it didn't work. Offenso College, they introduced me to the class that I'm starting work, not knowing a Presby clergy who was teaching there had been transferred. And the man went and worked his way through. And so the transfer didn't work. And so he came back. The week I was about to start at Offenso College of Education, they told me that man nanke de obeshe na nai no wanyanko transfer no. I brought my application here, knowing at the time this is women college. And so I was just trying my luck. I hope you get it. And at the time, 8 years ago, I hope you get it. A bit younger. So I was thinking, will I be picked? And I was picked at St. Monica's College of Education. Not knowing, when I was coming, I didn't like it anyway. Not knowing that was my destiny. Now, all the things I am doing in the world, all the things I'm doing in my life is because of St. Monica's College of Education. That is why I'm saying that you'll be posted to places you don't want, but don't only think about the negative. If you have the opportunity to live, do whatever you can to live. Because Aniagyei Chrome Day Nursery, yes, in Krasi University. But if you don't have the opportunity, which I know many of you wouldn't have the opportunity, stay. But don't think about the negative surrounding or happening in the community. Look at the positives. I came here, I have never done girl child something. But you know what? I put myself in St. Monica's activities. I entered the grape. UK Aid came on board with this grape activity. Mr. Manko & Co. brought me on board. I did something. I put myself into it. And that has made me To the extent that I started getting the opportunity at the African Union invitations, and I have told my brother Bosco, now I have been appointed as a consultant at the African Union for 2 years, and my duty station is Burkina Faso, influencing girl-child education at the continental level. I hope you get it. All because of St. Monica's. I didn't know. I was looking to teach at Offensive College and West School. I didn't know. Now some professors have won a grant in my university, and as part of the grant is huge. As part of the grant, they have GRIP, gender responsive pedagogy. As part of the training, they are training agric college teachers in the whole of Ghana, and they are looking for GRIP. I'm new in my university. They submitted names of the lecturers of the university they were going to train. I was there. Then when they submitted the list to the Pro-Vice Chancellor, not knowing, the Pro-Vice Chancellor told them that there is this, if it is about GRIP, there is this guy who has come, who is new. He will do the job for you. According to Professor Apia Kubi, who is leading the project, he took me reluctantly because it was coming from the Pro-Vice Chancellor. They didn't know me. Now, I'm known for girls and women education because of St. Monica's. Now, as you are posted to the rural communities, nobody knows. Put yourself in the community. Learn the thing nobody knows. In the near future, you'll be classified as rural educationist. Now, I am classified as girl-child educationist. I didn't learn it in school. I learned it here. You never know an international organization or NGO will come and pick you that you have background in rural education, and indeed you manifest that. That is how it works. You get what I mean? And so understand where you are posted to and consider or focus on the positives, not on the negatives. The next one, build strategic relationships. In the world of work, everything is about relationship. The certificate sometimes wouldn't matter. You are going to get a job. This consultancy thing I'm talking about, they didn't even ask me my certificate. I didn't apply with certificate. When I was in St. Monica's, they used to interview me. And when I left last July, they invited me this 11th February this year, when they were doing the 55th ordinary session of African heads of state. They were doing a parallel session education, and all African ministers of education were invited. And you know what? I was invited as a speaker on girl-child education, and that did the trick. That did the trick. I finished the presentation at that session, and UNESCO met me. They are screw like this. We want to interview you. I gave them the interview. They published it, and 2 months later, they said, we want to give you a consultancy on girl-child education. That's how it works. So the network is very necessary. As you sit here right now, make sure you have strong 50 people that when you get funeral, the 50 people are ready to give you 100 cedis each, as in, sir. You are joking. Sorry, you are laughing. It's not a joke. Oh. Many of you are going to get married, isn't it? In your wedding day, if you have not established yourself in such a way that your classmates will feel so obliged to the extent that there wouldn't be any excuse to exempt themselves from your wedding, then it means you haven't achieved much. At least 50 people, 50 of your classmates must be willing or not, to come and support you during your wedding. And be strategic, be conscious about that, because relationships will make the difference. The certificate wouldn't matter anymore after your school, unless probably you are applying for another school. Are you here with me? And so you are so fortunate that you have common platforms. On the common platforms, don't just be commenting. Be strategic and get connected with at least 5 or 10 people whom you constantly communicate with. Because sometimes, a third person must defend you, isn't it? So, for example, wedding in Baah, there should be a friend. When you put on the invitation and you say, I'm coming to have a wedding, come, people will become tired of you. But a third person should be able to pull the crowd for you. That Millicent is getting married. I hope you get it. We have to go, and that is the trick. When you are forcing people, come to my wedding, people become tired. But a third person must pull the crowd for you. And that is why you should have strategic networks among your friendship. Don't joke with it. And the temptation with you women is that when you complete and you get married, you detach your friends. Sometimes I ask my wife, into Okyere, na we teacher for ne or no be whom. Or say there be Dr. Nchia Samoa taught her. And we met Dr. Nchia Samoa. And Dr. Nchia Samoa, enemy boy many. My wife now train at Dr. Nchia Samoa Nimono. And that is your problem. Because when you get married, sometimes the thinking is that, oh, father, and for who can be cast, oh, yeah, I will be getting. There is that temptation, but you try to manage. Don't detach yourself from lengths because strategic relationships matter. Let me give you a typical example. What got me out? I'm a geographer and I'm also a politician. And basically, I don't want to leave Ashanti because this is where I do my politics. And as you know me, I'm also a frontliner. So when I'm going anywhere, I don't want to go to a place where you be at the back. Take in my university at the department, 17 lecturers, 16 of them are professors, and all the professors are in their 40s. So my colleagues who studied at Canada and the rest, when they come, they go back because you will come and you'll be there 10 years, even common exams officer you won't get. And so there, when they were saying, oh, Simo Fatuma, I didn't like it because it will take me so many years to progress. Somebody told me that there was a professor at AMMUSTED. He's a geographer, but at the PhD level, he is a geomorphologist, so he ventured into civil engineering. And so there he's teaching surveying. So if I can go and see, maybe in the future, I was in Monica's. Bosco and Braco could know about this. I gathered the conference, I took the number, I called the man. No, Prof, I'm Boateng. I want to come and see you. It was Tuesday. He said, okay, Wednesday, I won't get time. Then come on Thursday from Mampong Pam, I went to him. When I went, he was a dean of students. A dean of business faculty. He gave me the opportunity. Said, so what brought you here? I narrated. I have done, not PhD, I have done MPhil, geography. I am on my PhD program. I want to design a geography program that will bring me here. The man looked at me and laughed. He said, how did you get this confidence to be here? Anyway, for your confidence, I will give you, let's try something. Then he told me to design. He told me the thing to be designing. So every week, every 2 weeks, I will design, I will send it, and he will cross it. Me kwa no twetwam. Send na waka kyerem ni nyina no. Me hu na ye ne sere. Onfa me nya hwe o. But he was entertaining me because of the confidence I have shown. Because oh no, university no kura unya memu. Why you say obedro program na sa na ye ade no. And for the fact that he wouldn't be rude to me, he decided to tolerate me, right? So he said, okay, go and design it. 2 weeks, Bosco knows it. I will go, he will cross it. Go and do this, I will do the thing, he will cross it. By 2 years. But I never bothered. I still connected. Until I won a grant for the Colleges of Education Research Conference at Insuta. Then I decided that out of the 3 keynote speakers, I will invite this man. I invited him, came and gave the speech. He just tapped, when he was going, he just tapped my shoulders. Well done. In the evening, he dropped application form of the university. Fill and bring it. He did the magic. At the time, he wasn't the pro-vice chancellor. At the time, he was just dean. And I didn't know that he would rise to become the pro-vice chancellor. And when he came, he said, Phil, I filled, sent it. Monday, I sent it. And you know what? Pro-vice chancellor carrying your application form, and at the university, 13 forms, so university application form, voluminous, 13, carrying it. They had not gotten clearance. He said, they haven't gotten clearance, but I am going to send you to the HOD for them to give you part-time, so that the system will know you. And he did just that. Connection, links. I hope you get it. Build it. When people are mentioning your name, the people who are discussing you shouldn't suffer for knowing you. There are people, when your names are mentioned, I just hear the baby count. Priscilla, oh, Lady Tintin Tuntumia, or it shouldn't be like that, especially among your colleagues. When I left, many of your seniors who have traveled, we have been writing recommendations for them, right? Nancy, Lavia, and the rest, when I was writing the recommendation, I didn't need them to come. I just did it and sent it to them through WhatsApp. They are now in the UK studying, right? But many of you, you call and I can't even recollect, and you'll be giving a whole lot of description, still I can't connect. And so the issue will be that, and you know the struggle. You will be in war at the time. And that will be the struggle because you didn't connect well. And so make sure principal and the rest will see you. And the lecturers around will see you. You know why? Principal will one day leave. Right? Another lecturer in the college will become a principal. When you school, Madam Doris came in her interview. I was part of the panel. Principal said, "Well, you're old student too. And I'm a toto. Well, you're old student." I don't know whether you get what I mean. And the rest is history. The rest is history. So let your lecturers see you. When I was here, I used to fight you. They will come and meet two lecturers talking. And you know what? The one lecturer teaches the person, the other doesn't teach. And say, "Obey you were free more." They will train at the end and say, "Good morning." Build relationships. It matters. The next one is ensure lifelong learning. Did you listen to the profiles they read? From principal to Madam Judge. Did you listen to the profile? She started as Set A. Now she's a lawyer, a judge. Principal also said, Papa, I think Set a PhD with numerous certificates. But when I say lifelong learning, it is not only about the academics. It is also about being conscious to learn catering and other skill to diversify your skills. Are you here with me? Lifelong learning means after graduation, you also try to learn certain skill, certain job. You could be trading. It's all part of the lifelong learning. It could also be academic progression. Set A, first degree, law, and now a lawyer, a judge. Right? From here, where would you want to go? I have decided I don't want to be a lawyer, but I've started doing law because I am a politician. I want to do law. That's my reason anyway. And when I went to the law faculty, Papa, I saw a Monica student. Priscilla is saying I shouldn't mention her name. Now she's my teacher. My student as a Monica, so she's my senior at KNUST. Now the Shimi student in Bako, my classmate. Say Monica student Bako. I am a classmate. Now I create exams na we na many me enyinya no be bisa me. Dog Okyere. Student e wa ha o fere me say mo jimidi. Mo no say ma ben. Me twifa me bo. Na menyinya manim no na Jennifer baby Sam said dog Okyere. What point am I making? Don't go in the world of work and sit aloof. Are you here with me? Don't sit aloof. Whatever means possible, progress. If you don't progress, you meet your classmates and always your remarks about them will be negative. You get the point? Ube share with classmates na as wako na enim no. Your comment will be like, we mo no munye kunu papa no mo na mo. And now ne papa ne wuye no de japade na. You see that comment? And if you don't take care, the next 10 years, when there is a program, now when alumni call and people are coming, not everybody, there are people who come with joy because they think or they feel they have not failed, right? But there are people, when you say Monica's old students are calling, as money. You know why? The secret is that when it comes, the person doesn't feel fulfilled. And she feels there is something that she could have done. Don't fall into that trap. The world of work is about lifelong learning. Be competitive. It's real. Hello? Are you here with me? Be real and work towards it. You can be like, now I am very happy. Today, Priscilla, I decided to bring Priscilla to come in as a model. She has a paper. But I'm very happy today you have a whole judge. For Priscilla, she's even schooling. Somebody who came into this same college and now she's a judge. When you are going, when you go, in the schools you are going to teach, there are people, they wouldn't go and the advice they will give you is also negative. Oh, Nigerians who go school, they be there. Who grab master's, win promotion. That is what they are going to tell you. When I was doing my master, there were some teachers. Oh, Nigeria since you go school, because go school only the one first degree no salary pay. Forgetting that the masters can propel you to the next level, that will bring the difference. I will be getting. And when the Monica's opportunity came in, I was leaving. That is when they realized that school no say and confront Nigeria as Hong Kong. You get a point, and so make sure. My last point is in the world of work on your choices. Choices could be regarding your expenses, right? Let me give you a clue. You'll be posted to certain schools or some schools. When you go to those schools, you will go and meet some mistresses, teachers, right? But they still look young. They are in their late 30s, middle 30s. They have some leverages and they have leveraged that opportunity. They have taught for 10 years and they have the space to buy things on credit. Hello? When you go and those teachers are buying on credit, don't buy on credit. Chance will beat me freebie. What do you mean beat me freebie? Or no one can say you 10 years. And she has that leverage. Nitria o kunu papa, te say principal, te say bra amankwa, te say finance officer. Ne sala oba sa teacher ni ne salary no fa ne nsanya den. Enka o free a wonko freebie. Are you listening to me? Your expenditure, remain focused. Don't do what they are doing. You also get to that level where you can afford those things, and by the time you can afford, you wouldn't even need them. That is the irony. By the time you can afford, the Bosco cancer, yes, you saw a part of the action. Yentimin tona a part of the action, and they are able to matashan and then comfort to. That is the irony. Are you listening? So when they are doing that, the second important thing, I know one person will talk about it, your marriages. Don't just choose. The 5 years, 10 years, what will significantly bring the difference is many of you, your marriages. Your marriages, the marriages you enter, can change your life and your family's destiny and your generation's destiny forever. And many of you, the opposite is that many of you are going to stagnate because of the relationships you enter. Don't joke with it. Make sure in the world of work, you situate yourself in such a way that you are on course. And these things we are talking about, it is not on the certificate. They are the real, the practical things that happen in the world of work. I will conclude by giving you this. These three things, if you want to succeed, you need one of these things. Pray for wisdom. You pray for wisdom. If you don't get wisdom, attempt to get a skill. Attempt to get a skill. In your endeavor, even in the teaching, if you decide to remain in the teaching, be known to be the best. Isn't it? Be known to be the best. Just be known to be the best. Have a skill. Because in the world now, we are in the world of... I was here when I was part of the team doing an interview. In the principal... At the time it was Mame Sobote. And we were interviewing music lecturers. One lecturer or one of the candidates, all the theory, we asked, Bra Kwame was there. All the theories we asked, this person will give the answers. Then Mami Sobote wasn't part of the panel, but she was sitting on a chair, not knowing she was listening to whatever was going on. After that, he said, no, let's give them an instrument for each of them to play. That is where we got to know the difference. The one who was rattling with the mouth couldn't show any skill. And the difference was clear. But the other guy, we gave him the keyboard, he played the flute, he played and all that. You people are in the world of skill. I always tell people, up until maybe 1995, it was about qualification, right? Oh, this person holds PhD, masters, even because at the time even diploma holders were big people. I hope you get it. It was qualification. Now from 1995 to 2015, it was about where you attended, where you got your certificate. And that was where in the Ghanaian parlance we would describe you. Harvard trained, Oxford trained. I hope you get it. In your world, it is not about Harvard trained or Nottingham trained or MIT trained or Tech trained. It is about the skill. And so if you attended Harvard and somebody attended St. Monica's and we are talking about teaching, you are put there, isn't it? Whether Harvard or St. Monica's, show what you have. So skill. The third one is, if you don't get the wisdom or the skill, the third one is be resourceful. Be resourceful. If you allow yourself for any of these to evade you, you won't go anywhere. I am telling you. So pray to God and get one of these. Wisdom. If you don't get a wisdom, get a skill. If you don't get a skill, be resourceful. And you shall be great. Be great. May the Lord be with you. Thank you very much.
So we are teaching. Oh, the entire Mafro Abetna. She, Mimi feature. We are secondary school. We so who will be a mifipa and God has brought us this far. Some of these things we got to know only when we had the opportunity to be here. When I met him, we've slept together. We've eaten in the same bowl together. And I know what is in him. So when I ask you to come here, and you say me hot me, because I say me Okyere, say me 21 years senior me college. Say me tes I say me ya. Nke na akonya me teso no. Nke nya akonya ketoa. What I say? So we want you to make the difference. And I thank you for coming. I am a yadia. Oh, dodo na beba na mfa me ho. Nipa me ensa betena ha no mote. No ma brabo sesa mani beje. Also akase we share a student at law school. Mentro ya kra ma tro recommendation mani pa 2 this year. Me frewa me se koye law. Me frewa me se koye law. Because mahuze teaching no a head. But baby at the chen ha. And I am a business, me the religion ni woman kakrebi. Say you wouldn't ever call heaven. I don't need you as an Yakoba be a hoide. I don't need then or ya. But so for her men family religion. Thank you very much, Doc. You see, he has told us a lot and we are recording. That is why I want us to keep the record. When we are done, we will eat again and again. And as you go out there, I'll go and sleep. And koda. What you say? And koda. You. Dog, God bless you for coming. I'm grateful that you come. When Judge came to inaugurate the 95th anniversary at the graduation, I saw her and I said, wow, Monica's judge, I will not let this woman go. I met her at the corner. I said, ma, give me your number. You are coming to my program. I had some I went for a seminar at Cape Coast. Principal sent me to Cape Coast. Some US citizens wanted to be on this show. US citizens. They said, if I do this program, they will come. This year, I'm not bringing them. Next year, I'm going to bring them. Okay. Don't worry. It's live. We are on Facebook Live. So next year, you can sit in your home, and I've shared it on the ASOS alumni platform and most of the platforms that we are. So many people are watching us from their homes because they wanted to see what we are doing. So if you are not coming, stay in your house. We are here. Okay, so next year, those people will be on board. There are people who want to speak. As Ike, a doctor called him that, please, I want to come and speak on your program. And you're going to be Maka, Samunina, Muya, Yayeti, Yaye. Because they say, many judge are fine. Judge in ye tamale. No frame, I met to fool a book, Namedako. Minya ye or child, Baba. So what I say? This is the relationship that my brother is talking about. Judge Betimania Bibiot, Bosco, we be what Besani Yankoye. That is what we are talking about. And so when we talk about build relationship, these are some of the things, and I think Doctor have done so well. Judge, thank you for coming. I'm grateful. We want to listen to her. Her worship, Janet Ahomka, Yeboah, Nidino Swede. Oh, said you know who feno. San and Nidino Swede. She's speaking to us the evolving role of contemporary teacher, financial independence and career growth. Thank you very much. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you too. Mr. Chair, I want to thank you, the management of the school and the organizers of today's program for the opportunity that me. I think, okay, I don't know if, I thank God that on the 14th of February, I came here. In fact, my colleague magistrate here had to swear in the government appointees and some assembly members, but he had traveled and then asked me to come and do that for him. So I passed in front of the school. I said, I told my driver that this is my alma mater. So on my way back, I said, Mami Nkona principal. At our time, it was Mrs. Fosukrantin. So I said, oh, let me come and then meet the new principal and maybe introduce myself. I had been at Aguna since 2022, but the thought never came that I should come here. So when I came, the way he received me, he was so happy and all that. And I was glad within myself that St. Monica's has brought me this far. Seriously, it is not a coincidence that you are here. The religious training that is given to us here in St. Monica's, that's Monica's spirit. I'm telling you, you become a good wife and you excel in whatever you do. Now, the topic I'm talking about is the evolving role of the contemporary teacher, financial independence and career growth. When I saw the financial independence, I said, hey, I'm not a finance person, but we all, in one way or the other, control our incomes or our finances. So whatever I'm going to say is from experience and what I have learned. Now, when we say financial independence, what is it? And one definition I came across is that it's about adopting the right mindset and taking control of one's financial future by making deliberate decisions. How do we achieve financial independence? Now, you learn how to budget. It's something that most of us, we don't know how to do at all. If you don't tell your money where it should go, you end up asking yourself, where did the money go? It happens to all of us. Sometimes better say, hey, yeah, now you take a pen and paper and you calculate. Okay, I bought this and this. Hey, I must spend this cano. So there's the need to budget. And the finance people will tell you there's this method which I have adopted, a 50-30-20 method. And when we talk about the 50-30-20 method, what does it mean? Now, it is where you divide your money 50%, 30%, and then 20%. Now, the 50 goes for your needs. Your needs. The things that you need. You know you can't stay away without food. So, obviously, food will be a need. Accommodation. So, your rent is a need. Your transportation. In the course of the month, you have to pay TNT to your work and back and all that. Those are needs. And so in the budget, you set aside 50% for those needs. So for example, if you are taking, let's say 500 Ghana cedis, the 50% will be how much? 250. So that will go for your needs. Then the 30% will go for your wants. Things that you don't necessarily need. Most ladies, we like doing that. So you want to buy it. So the 30% is for your wants. Maybe dining out one evening. It's not a need. You just want to pamper yourself a little. So you set aside the 30% of your income for things like that. And so 500, you set aside 250 for your needs. Then 30%. 30% will be how much? 30% of the 500. Hey, money mass, this is the meaning mass, yeah. I think that would be 150. So for that. Then the 20% should be set aside for emergency situations. So like savings. As we sit here, you don't know what will happen to you. There are times that, no nipa no yari. And so, your ration says here, then there's no money to cater for that event. So there is the need to adopt a budgeting method so that when situations like that happens, it can be taken care of. Now, so aside making a budget, set financial goals. Set financial goals. Law school fees, as Doc said, it's not easy. Depending on the institution, the fees are quite high. So, for example, you are here, you intend to go into the legal profession. So you set a goal that after school, I will teach for this number of years. And then, so I'm saving towards that. Set goals. Set financial goals for yourself. In fact, when I was growing up, when you ask me, what will you do in future? I say law. Make a chum say me a lawyer. And I remember my grandmother would tell me, say, Christo ni nye se edwuma. Lawyer for who I the bidie bo omo anim tum, near butu omo anim wo adake. Christo ni nye se edwuma. But I don't know, inwardly, I liked that. Although I didn't get a straightforward path to the law, had to come to training college and all that, it was still at the back of my mind that I want to do this thing. Fortunately for me, our time, there was this program, Career Magistrate Program, from 2004, that's the judiciary instituted, where non-lawyers, and I would say 98% of us were teachers. 98% of us were teachers, where non-lawyers were trained at the Ghana Law School for 2 years. So I joined in 2006, and then I came out in 2008. After that, you are made a magistrate. So our profession, we are career magistrate. You have chosen that as your career. So career magistrate. So we have our line of progression from career magistrate to senior career magistrate to a principal career magistrate, then chief career magistrate. That's the line of you cannot go to the circuit court, high court, and all that because you are not a lawyer. But most of us who joined as career magistrates, most of us now, we have some at the circuit court now, decided to do the professional law so that we can progress along that line. Please, have that mindset. So set financial goals for yourself. Whatever you want to do, please start planning and saving towards it now. Then live within or below your means. You are not in competition with anyone. Emma de ye pesa. Where koto shoe went to so pay shoe. Please. Only be any competition. No. One thing that has helped me is that mindset. And God has a purpose for everyone. So don't look at the lifestyle of someone and try to be like the person. Have a positive mindset and live within or below your means. Discipline yourself. Say no to making certain decisions. Things that you cannot afford, don't force yourself. Don't. On social media, a lot of people are living fake lives. And if you don't take care, before you realize you are off balance. So please live within yourself, your means. You know that teacher's salary Yeah, compare Ghana Hanuma. You see, I catch you heaven. Yeah, catch you heaven, and then you see a general assassination. So the salary that you are going to take, if you live within your means or below your means, you'll be surprised what you can do. So please, live within your means and then make your health a priority. Make your health a priority. Think about your health. Don't just eat anything. And exercise, we know that exercise also helps to keep you in shape. Save money for emergencies. I've already said that. Yes, save money for emergencies. Sometimes we don't want to talk about sickness, we don't want to talk about death. But they are inevitable, especially death. What if your parents, something happens? They'll be looking at you. So save money for emergencies. Then get a right insurance in place. It's in Ghana here that sometimes, because of the way some of these insurance companies do their things, we don't have hope, or it's like we don't want to get into insurance policies. But I am telling you that it's a defensive strategy that protects your finances. My secondary school, our year group, we have this group insurance with enterprise insurance, about life insurance, where if there's a health challenge, there's an amount that they will pay to you, or if you lose 2 dependents, there's an amount that they will pay to you. And because it's a group insurance, my year group, we are paying 480 Ghana cedis a year. It's not even up to 500. But when there's an emergency, they will come to your aid. So please get an insurance, a good one, in place. Then, fine, you are going out and you are going to start work. You are not thinking about retirement, but please think about that. A lot of our people have gone on retirement, and in fact, when they tell you the hardship that they are going through because they didn't plan towards it, it's something else. So, on your financial independence, please think about retirement too. And all that we are saying boils down to you trying to save. Please save. Recently, some teachers, they came to stand surety for some accused persons. Actually, they are students from a certain secondary, so I don't want to mention the name. And they stood surety for them with their salaries. So in that case, we would ask you to, as security, so we ask you to bring a copy of your pay slip. So they did. Now the accused persons have run away, and so we are asking them to pay the bill sum. And we have to attach their salaries. Now we invited the banks, and they came. And at the end of the day, because one is deducted. And so the money that we are even taking as the bill sum, it will take about a year for us to get that amount, 5,000 Ghana cedis each. There are 3 people. And all of them are teachers. Please. Going for loans so that at the end of the day you cannot even do anything. And the loans that you go for, I don't know if it's for an investment that will bring an income, then that will be fine. But you just go for loan for some of these things, to buy clothes, to do things that will not in the end bring anything to you, but the loan will be staring in your face that you have to pay. Please, let's consider that. As you go out, don't please be yourself. Yes, be yourself. So on the financial independence, I will end it here. Then I would want to talk about the career growth. When we talk about career growth, we say it is the path an employee takes on the journey to becoming an expert or an employee's big picture idea for his or her career and the steps they take to achieve the dream. As I said, all along I had in mind or in my heart that I want to be a lawyer. I didn't even think of becoming a judge. It's a lawyer that I decided to do. What I want to tell you is that you are not on this earth for nothing. You are not here, eat, drink, wake up, you grow, now you have completed school, you go and work, you marry, give birth, you die, and that is all. No. Put at the back of your mind that you are here for a purpose. God created you for a purpose. So whatever purpose God has created you for, how do you achieve that? And with that, you cannot take away the God factor from your life. You cannot. He created you. He knows why you are here. So he is the one who will direct you to your purpose. So you have been in St. Monica's for 4 years. You have been taught a lot of Christian principles. Please, let it guide you. Let whatever you have learned, the religious things that you have learned here, let it guide you. Don't think that you can do everything on your own. I always say that the human wisdom is no match for the devil's cunning. It is God. God alone who helps us. This work that we are doing, there was a time, one station, the kuku ni mumoja abeshe me court, edanyechi. Said the beseni in Kusiani the abegu ubangalo. And you know that because God is on my side, God is protecting me. So please, academically, but I also want to tell you that what has made some of us who we are today is the God factor in our lives. Please, don't take God out of whatever you are going to do. Now, how do you achieve career growth? Understand yourself and know your talents and capabilities. Teachers, we have been taught that there are individual differences. So that students that you teach, you have that at the back of your mind that they have their individual capabilities. It's the same way. Know yourself. So if somebody can sing and you cannot, there's something that you can do that that person too cannot do. What can you do? Know yourself. Then find a mentor. Find a mentor. Learn from someone whose experience and advice you trust can be beneficial to you. Find a mentor. When I was in this school, there was this woman that I took as a mother. And I'm telling you, Mrs. Esuman, she helped me to buy forms. My doctor was asking me my first station, Achima Sene, near Achimoda, in an Islamic school. There was a day one of the students, I taught at the JHS, she was misbehaving. And when I tried to go and call me, who you know, me who you not student. Now also was saying, me na my simple new 95. Me who you now cray, me minimum. These are some of the things that come with the work that we do. So find a mentor. And so is that woman who came to look for me there and said, Nyanko Winiba, Nyanko to forms. I didn't know Winiba. And then we went, and that time, University College of Education, we went to buy the forms. I applied English program, the English language and then literature. And by God's grace, that year, I got admission. After I had taught for 2 years, God used her. Get a mentor. Please get a mentor, someone whose experience and advice you trust. Then open up yourself to new opportunities. Most judges or lawyers or even parliamentarians will tell you that they were once teachers. It's a big platform. This opportunity you have as a teacher. Before I even was enrolled as a student in St. Monica's, I was the shy person. Now I'm a ferry adiepa. But can you do this work and be shy? Even your friend, you see. So it propels you to a different level. So the platform, that the training that you have, a stepping stone. So if you are focused, I'm telling you, it will take you far. So open up yourself to new opportunities. You are starting as a teacher, but by God's grace, you can. Now my title has changed. I didn't stay there. I'm now at a different level. So open up yourself. Then enhance your job skills by taking on online courses. Now there are even weekend programs and evening programs. Please don't stay at the level you are. If I had stayed at Achim Aseni, I don't know. One of our colleagues who was, she got married to palm wine tapper. And I don't know if she's still there. And, and you know, with ladies, hey, me, I was a warrior. That thing also affects us sometimes. And then the pressure from family and society. Me, I had that. Worry. But when you have a focus, that pressure, it should not get to you. So please take up online courses or engage yourself in seminars to improve upon yourself. Then networking, Prof said it, build relationships with colleagues or professionals in a particular industry that you are. Please, as for the relationship aspect, you cannot take it out. Please, network. This alumni thing that we inaugurated, one of the reasons is to connect. Network. Now you know me. Even if you have an issue, a legal issue, you can say, let me call for advice. Yes. So please try to build connections. Then learn to adapt and embrace new challenges. You know, society is dynamic. Our time, it was certificate A. Now you are funny. I had to complete school 95, teach for 2 years before going to Winneba. Even that one at the time, it was diploma. But before I completed in 2000, then this new circular came that those of us with a certain grade point should be allowed to do 1 year top up. And by God's grace, that's what I did. 1 year top up and got my degree. You are fortunate. You don't have to go through all these years. So if you want to build on yourself, you will really go far. Now, because I am in the legal profession, I want to briefly talk about the requirements in case some of you here wants to go into a law. If you have a degree, then at least you should have a second class lower. Second class lower division in any discipline. One thing with law, you know now, everyone wants to do law because law, even if your area is in science, business, arts, any discipline, you can do law. I even say tree science, you can do law. Law is not like medicine. Now, if you don't have a science background, you cannot do. Law, any discipline at all, you can do it. And so if you have a degree, a first degree, the requirement is that at least you should have a second class lower. You should have a second class lower. And then your certificate should come from a university or an institution that is accredited by the Ghana Tertiary Commission. And when you enroll at the faculty level with your first degree, the program will last for 3 years. LLB for first degree holders is for 3 years. But if you enter with your WASI, that one is for 4 years. And with the WASI holders, at least you should have credit passes in, that is A1 to C6 in English, the core subjects, English, science, and then integrated science, and then A to D in 3 subjects, elective subjects. If you are entering with the WASI certificate, at least these are the requirements. And I don't know, some still write the O-level. If you want to enter with the O-level certificate, that one is 6 or 5 passes in subjects including English, maths, and science. Then there are some of the institutions that they admit mature students. And with mature students, your age should be 25 years and above. And that one to at least 5 credits in an O-level subject. And some of the universities that now, a lot of universities have been given the accreditation to run law courses. So KNUST, University of Ghana. When I was doing the LLB, I did it at Mount Trust University because I was still working. So I enrolled in a weekend program. So Mount Trust University is in Accra. Then we have GIMPA, and then University of Cape Coast, then Central UPSA, Central University. There are a lot. You can go on the online and then search. Every institution has its requirements, but then there's a minimum requirement that they cannot go below. Yes. So I will end here, and I pray that you will take whatever discussions that is going on here, and I know with God on your side, you would excel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mommy. With God on your side, you will excel. And I believe we are learning. You are not writing. Put some things down. I will allow you to ask them questions. So if anybody wants to leave, please let me know 10 minutes before you leave, because they will ask questions. So if you have any question, just put it down. If they are about to leave, you ask them the question before they leave. So Mommy would want to leave. If you have any question, and then Doctor would also want to leave in 5 or 10 minutes. Let's ask a question if you have one. I think she has already mentioned that law is not like medicine where you need a prerequisite qualification. Right after school, you can go into law. And I think those who are closer to me have told you are going to do law. Some of you will do law next year after your service. We want more lawyers from Monaco. Okay. So, any question for Dr. Simon? All right. You tell us your name, and then please let me acknowledge the presence of the SRC president from Mamtek, former SRC president from Mamtek. And then I saw another Mamtekan. Oh, he's gone out. Okay. And then I'm acknowledging the presence of my brother Asoja from CAS FM. He came with his brother. Yesterday he gave us audience and he interviewed us on the program. We have the recording. Later we'll give it to Principal.
Okay, my name is Yeboah. My question is to Her Worship. I want to find out, some of us are actually interested, as she said, but we are told stories about how they bury them, like it's quite scary. And we want to know, is it really true that they put things on their face and bury them like that and they wouldn't really go to heaven?
I worship for answer.
I don't know. And when we were growing up, we heard all sorts of stories, but it's not true. You know, some lawyers are into certain fraternities, yes, and so if you join a certain fraternity and you die, maybe they have some rituals that they do for you. But me, as a Christian, I'll be buried as a Christian is buried, so it is not true. Please disabuse your mind about it. Your face will be up. So you want to do it, please. Come around and then we would encourage you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mommy. Now, one who funa waka demoda. Who is what? The day out there, if I home. You do butu, you do tna ho. I'm no man, you do beshe. Your name?
Okay, so, hey, what is it about her question that, you know, after law school, after the LLB, the 3 years and the 4 years that I talked about, you still have to do the professional law course at the Ghana School of Law. Now I understand there's going to be a change whereby there will be a general exams that after the LLB you write. But for now, what it is that before you enter the Ghana School of Law, there's an entrance exam that is written. Even I understand they will be writing this year's in September. So there's a pass mark. When you pass, after you enter the Ghana School of Law. So when you finish the faculty, that one is the theory. You are now going to do the professional aspect of the law that you learned at the faculty level. So that is when you learn court processes and all that. After law school, and you are called to the bar, you are required to do 6 months pupillage with a firm or with a lawyer who is not less than 10 years at the bar. So whilst you are there doing what we call intention, we call it pupillage. The 6 months pupillage, you should, whilst doing it, it's like you should learn the profession well. So if you are good, a law firm can keep you. They will let you work with them. Or two lawyers can come together and start to practice. With the law, you don't have to be employed before you work with it. Once you have your bar license to practice as a lawyer, you start going to court, or some don't want to practice in the law court. Some want to be company lawyers. It's not every lawyer who goes to court, litigation. Some want to be in the corporate world with the institutions. So, my sister, it's not whom you know thing. It depends on you, your work. And you know that law requires constant learning, reading, because the law, we keep on repealing some, bringing in some, and I would say that our life is law. When COVID came, there was a law that was made for us. I said that Ghana, we have all the laws, even laws on mosquitoes. We have all the laws, so we have. So my sister, it is a profession that you don't need someone to employ you. Your work, if you are practicing and you're a good lawyer, people will recommend you to others. Yes. So that's what I would say. Thank you.
Last one.
Thank you very much. Please, I'm Beatrice Ayao, and my question is law as a profession good? Can a home economic student offer law? If yes, how? And if no, that's WASI home economic students. WASI home economic students. And if no, to how? So that's my question. Can a home economics WASI student offer law? If yes, how? And if no, why?
When I was delivering my speech, I said that law is one thing that any discipline, with any discipline you can enter into. If you want to, you can do it. And I told you the requirements. So if you have the requirements, you can do it. Yes, so if you have a home economics background or whatever, and you have the requirements, you can do it. Yes.
The judge is here. I didn't want to talk, but the issue is that when you are entering with SSC or WASI, let me take for instance, the grade is 9 or 8. So after you are done here, having your beard something, you will enter as a mature student, which is part-time. And that one, every whatever you have, you can enter. So that is the point, that's the distinction. So as a home, if you want to enter with the home economics, whatever, then it means that you are using the SS. That is the WASI. In that case, you need to get about 7, 8 thereabout. Other than that, you'll be a fee-paying student. Definitely, you will join the main one. I just completed this month. I'm preparing for the main proper one, the IEC one, which will sit, I think, 12th September. So that is that. So when you are entering as matured, that is BEd, you've completed here, any discipline, as she rarely put it, you qualify. In that case, you go and write entrance exams. Our time was 4 years. Right now, it's been shut to 3 years. So you have that 3 years to do. So you will be a part-timer. There are other institutions that also offer those things. So that is what I just want to add to what Judge said.
Thank you very much. Last one. MC Manyan lawyers very 50 waha.
Please, in Bukari, my question, he made mention that we shouldn't choose our marriages.
You shouldn't?
We shouldn't just choose our marriages or our life partners. And I want to know the procedure we follow to choose.
Thank you. Please, Someone will be speaking on marriage and choosing a life partner. When it is time, you ask your question. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you, Her Worship, for such a wonderful delivery. I'm so grateful that you came. And Monica is so proud of you. We will keep in touch all the time. 2 minutes. Thank you. Now we want to have a musical interlude for some 5 minutes. Okay. Yes. So please, let's be upstanding as our judge takes leave of us. I want to see her off.
Okyere,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. More of that. We want to continue. Adomra ampa wayeyi ensada. Thank you very much, Mr. Chum and the choir. I always admire the chorals. Previously, I didn't like choral songs, but since I came to Monaco, now I've downloaded a lot of it because of Nana Chum. He does it at his best. And he knows I can't have a program without him. Nana, thank you very much. Anytime we call, you come around with your group. And the choristers, God bless you and take you to higher heights. Adom Radie, Yabesa to be a nice track. Again, we want to continue with our deliveries. So we have a chartered accountant and a lawyer in the making, a political figure. You see, the people who go for no more beans are now person edu anadwa nka wonna now so o ben wo ho mati ase and then nipa na akasa kire mu ni nyina obi aben obi o chartered accountant or your accountant awa chate na all san yellow papa na say o person o de ye dey also a politician. So, without much ado, I want to invite our finance officer, Mr. Isaac Osei, to speak on From First Paycheck to Financial Freedom, a guide to money management for young women in teaching. Now, before he starts, I want to acknowledge my brother from GCB. Yeah, last year I invited him, so I know him. Last year he came with Akosua. I remember. Okay. So my brother, you are welcome. When it is time, you have your lot. So we invite Mr. Isaac to give us his message. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Acting Chair, the College Registrar, for the opportunity given me to speak on the topic From First Paycheck to Financial Freedom, a guide to money management for young women in feeding and teaching. Before I start, in fact, today we've gotten a nice opportunity to be given this kind of tuition. And I always ask myself, if I had gotten this earlier, I would have surpassed who I am. I remember very well when I finished tertiary, I was posted as a national service to Gulubi Cortes. OCA. When Dr. Simon was speaking, let's be frank with you. He said about 90% of you wouldn't be posted to the places that you wish, but you need to have that tenacity of purpose, because that is not the end of you there. So how do I journey from this place to the other place? Gulubi quarters is at northern region. When you get to Tamale, you take about 72 miles. You come to Salaga, and when we reach Salaga, the ladies were placed there because they told us, we are going to move you further, and where we are sending you, ladies cannot cope, so you are men. 2 from Accra, 1 from Kumasiano. So the ladies were placed at the district, that is district offices. And these guys were moved further. And you have to take about another 32 miles from that Salaga to that place. I just want to bring you to a certain level so that you appreciate where you are going and how you have to have that tenacity of purpose to journey your way through to reach the ultimate goal that you want to aspire to. And over there, car goes there once a week. So we have to sit on top of cars. So you understand where we said ladies cannot be moved further. So I realized that Tamale was so long, because from Tamale to Gulubi Quarters is 104 miles. So I had to change my route. So the other time when I was going, I had to pass to Yeji. When I go to Yeji, I have to sit in the Panto. And the Panto is about 45 minutes drive. That is 9 hours on the lake. And you get to a certain point. Then you take a car from there. So where we went, there was no light. There was no pipe. There was no KVIP. And we were tasked to teach JHS 1, JHS 2, JHS 3. So I took social science and religious and moral. And the other guys also took science and mathematics. And we had one, he's also an engineer, he also took the other part. Because you will hardly see trained teachers. I realized that apart from the headmaster or the head teacher, a lot of them were not trained. And I had to journey my way through. So, wherever you are placed, if you are really focused, you'll get there. So have that tenacity of purpose, that once somebody has reached that height, nothing would debar me from also reaching that height. You saw an old student, a judge, and somebody was asking me after chattering why I'm a politician, and I contested with Dr. Simon. We are in the same constituency. 2018, I won him. And he came back, 2022, he won me. You see that spirit? So we click, because we are intellectuals. So during our campaign, we didn't say anything, nasty to ourselves. Just use your SWOT analysis. My strength, the opportunities that I have to campaign. He too used the same thing. So he's more than a brother to me. So currently I was the assistant secretary. Right now he's the assistant secretary at the same place. And you see where he's going. I just want to challenge you. Virtually all my kids are ladies. So I'm passionate about your going up. So I think that is that. So let's come back to what we're tasked to come and do. You are fortunate that you've gotten a degree. Previously, you have to start from certificate. All the people over here started from certificate, where they were at level 12. Level 12 will be receiving about early 2000s. And then a diploma came. The last batch of the certificates was 2006. My wife is a teacher. She was the last batch for 2006 certificate. So 2007, those who graduated with diploma. And that came to level 14. So you be migrated to or journey through the GES. I'm telling you GES structures and where their culture, please don't let their culture stifle you. I hate GES culture. I just want to challenge you that from here, what is your goal? Within short term, 5 years, where do I want to reach? Within 10 years, where do I want to reach? Within 20 years, where do I want to go? A teacher is always a teacher. So if indeed you realize that their pay, so currently when you finish, you will be placed at level 16, which is a gross of 47,000 because that is 4,007. Your basic pay will be 4,002 and your retention premium will be like 700. So you get that ring. That is gross. And there will be statutory deductions. When I say statutory deductions, it is the tax. Whether we like it or not, you'll be taxed. Then social security and possibly your union groups. So if you minus it, you get about 3,009. You are so fortunate. Because the diploma people were receiving 2009. So I just want to show you a plan that will help you because you are receiving this. And don't let it be your end point. You move from there. Because I've told you, you are going to GES, you are a teacher. SETA, Colleges of Education Teacher Association of Ghana. You still see a teacher there, right? SETA. Or you go to Technical University. They are also whatever. You see a teacher there. Are you getting my point? When you go to university, which is UTAG, you see a teacher there, University Teachers Association of Ghana. So if you think you are a teacher and you are within the realms of GES and you don't like it, aspire for the higher heights. They are also teachers and they are receiving big. So please, you've gotten this opportunity. Obi anyone or you, and I make us a key this a futua. You have gotten this opportunity. So you don't have any excuse to fail, to trail, to retard in life. You don't have any excuse. That platform is big for you because from here, principal superintendent, because hitherto with the diploma, you start from senior soup 2. Then you come another 4 years, you come to soup 1, another 4 years, then you come to principal. So it will have taken you 8 years before you get principal superintendent. Right now, that 8 years, you slash it. Where you are starting from principal soup. Your next promotion will be another 4 years. The clue is that if you're able to get your master's within that 4 years, with 2 years, you'll be able to get to assistant director 2. So I just want to unveil all these things to you so that you start early. They say early bird catches worm. So that is that for your. And I would love to see a lot of you also pursuing law. I've told you in our class we have medical doctors, medical superintendent Ajuabin. He's our mate. You see pharmacists, they are all there, engineers, planners, every field. It's very lovely. It's very, very lovely. So I will encourage you. I will encourage you. So you save. So we'll go through that. Maybe your family is like me. Me a pioneer. How do I make it in life? So I'll do the savings to certain point. Then I journey my way through. And now I retire. I always push my wife. My first degree, Missy Yebi. She went to Legon. She did after this certificate. She did. We and I said no. My first masters, my second masters, also one masters, and also last year I say Konakoye PhD or US and Okyere US for refusal. No, you see that is how a life partner is very, very good. Obi adebia obe push you. So they will talk about that. So quickly, let me go to my destiny. In fact, you can't have financial freedom when you don't do budgeting. I'm going to talk about 5 areas and then I'll bring my lectures to a close. You will learn about budgeting. You will learn about education and financial literacy. We'll also talk about money management. We'll talk about investment. We'll talk about savings and other quotes that will also help you. So let me start it. Budget. What does budget simply means? I just don't want to sound technical. It's just a plan of action. Just a plan of action that you estimate your income against your expenditure. And I've told you with the principal superintendent that very soon, by God's grace, you'll be graduating from here, and when you move to that place, at least I've given you a gist of what you are going to earn. So like Judge Riley pointed it out, there is a system that 50, 30, 20. The 50 is for the necessities. There are things that you cannot do away with. I mean, where you sleep, your shelter, what you eat, there's nothing that you can do about it. The second one we'll talk about, we call it discretionary spending. You use your discretion to spend. And those things, you have the capacity not to do them. That 30%, you can still save it. A case in point is maybe vacation, or you are taking people out for a lunch. You can choose to ignore it, but you can't say I've not eaten the whole day, which is necessity. So we try to curtail some of the discretionary spending. And the last 20, she said, savings. You really have to save it. So from here, most of you, at least will be around before you finish, because this is 4-year program. So let me see, averagely when you finish, it's a 17, 18, plus 4 years, average will be 21 to 23. And you minus it from 60 years. So it means that you have about 37 years to retire, whether you like it or not. All things being equal. You find say or whatever. You did 60 years now, you're not. So you have about 37, 36, thereabout to retire. What are you going to do? That is why you have to start early. You maintain that savings culture. So let me give you a very simple formula. If you want to constantly save, so principal soup, 4,000 or 3,009, you can choose to save about 300 a month or 500 for the next 20 years. It depends on where you are saving it. You really need to also evaluate the rate that will be accrued on your investment. So for instance, if you want to save 20 years, you pick the figure, so 500 into bracket 1 plus R, which is the rate of return. So if the rate, they will give you about 20%. So it becomes 1.20. Raised to the power, the number of years. If I want to save about 20 years, it will tell you the amount that you get after 20 years. Please, have you gotten the formula? So, okay, in simple terms, if I'm earning maybe 3,000, I want to save 300. I said 300 into brackets. Let's say the rate of return, the bank will give you, or that investment, this thing will give you 20%. Or let's say 15. So 1 plus 15%. 15% is what? 0.15. Plus the 1, it will give you 1.15. Into bracket, I want to save 20 years. I wish that I have this thing to show you. Very simple. So let's boss on. So the point is that you've already know what you are earning after every month. That one, you don't really have a control over it. What you really have a control is the spending, the expenditure. So you keep track of the expenses. Make sure that you record every purchases, every little expenditure. Just have a small book. Imagine I've finished. I'm earning, let's say 4,000, or let's say 3,500. That one constant, you don't have control. And there, ebeba. But at the end of the day, no, the obeyano na ebeti tiskaneso. So me making sure say I'll be prudent in my spending. Okay, so you keep track, because if you don't record, that's why those of us in accounting and finance, accounting is a process of recording, estimate, whatever. The first thing is recording. You need to keep track of the little things that is going out, things that you are spending. It's very, very key. So you do that. No matter how small, you record it. Then you prioritize your wants. You prioritize your needs over wants. Everybody needs something, everybody wants something, but there's a clear distinction between what you really need and what you want. So just be candid to yourself. Sit yourself down. What do I need? And what do I want? But I wish that you prioritize your needs over your wants. And that will help you to curtail some of the unnecessary expenditure, especially the ladies. Me will shirt be a machine is 6 years. Machine is 6 years. Me will trouser be a machine 4 years. Khaki trouser. You see, but every little thing you want to be seen. Okay, so that is that. I've already talked about how to create a budget plan. So within the amount that is coming, let's say 4,000. You let me be constant, 4,000. 50% for, we've already talked about that. 50% for what? All the necessaries. Okay, 30% for discretionary spending. But with that, I mean, be frugal. Still, you can make some spending over there. Then, even the 20 that we've told you, 5, 30, 20, you can even add the savings to maybe 25%. So 20% of the 4,000 that you are receiving, we are praying that you will keep it. Don't forget about that. At least 50, 30, 20. 20% of the net that you are receiving. You make sure that you put it somewhere, and it will really help you. And again, we come to savings. You really have to develop that savings culture. I think Japan are the very best people who have the habit of savings. So it's an attitude that we need to emulate. You need to really save for Dachi. So it's very, very key. So that 20%, don't joke with it. Don't really touch it. Tell your husband or whatever, potential husband, this are the things that I want to do. So that will help you. you start early. And I've told you, averagely when you are graduating, most of you will be around, I said 21 to 23. Am I right? Exactly. So you deduct it from the 60. So just imagine. So if you start early, at the end of the day, you will get a very huge sums of money at the end of the day, and that will help you. So that savings culture is very key, please. And you set a financial goal. I said, in the short term, what am I going to do? In the medium term, what am I going to do? In the long term, what am I going to do? So I just want to retire as a lawyer. A lady asked the question. Lawyers, we are not employed. It's a state attorney that could employ a lawyer. You go to your private firm, whatever case you have a charge from, depending on how matured you are in the system, 15 or up to 20% on the case value. So even if I'm 70, 80, I'll still be chopping. You see, those are the things that you need to. That's why I want most of you, don't let, if you wouldn't aspire to go to the university as a lecturer, I've told you, it still has the T. Don't forget. So if you think the G is not suitable for you, learn, then go forward. That should be your goal. And sometimes too, I know it's very difficult to pick money somewhere to kind of save. So sometimes you can instruct your bankers to deduct certain amounts and place it at somewhere for you, so that you wouldn't come and be in your hands to be tempted to use it up. So you can instruct your bankers. Very soon when you start receiving your become employees of GES, you can instruct your bankers, set this aside for me, constant amount. It's you pay me say, or bear 4,000 or 3,009. Now instruction of the amount of bankers, no. Or make constant 300, because you are instructing them. Without it, they cannot. Without your instruction, they cannot. So, me say averagely, monthly 400, and to mommy are now 200. Definitely, that is how. So we call it. You automate some of these things, automatic transfer. So it will be it will be as if it's part of the statutory deductions. Are you getting my point? I told you, apart from the salary, whether you like it or not, you will pay tax. They would hold SSF, that is Social Security Fund for you. It's a compulsory. So that one, they will do it. So that one, they will just deduct you 5.5%, and your employer will pay 13% to it, making it 18%, and those will be given to you when you retire. And the more, let me also chip in this. If your salary is small, your pension money will be small. Because it's based on your net or your gross, your basic salary, that you calculate the SNIT. So my basic salary, I have 4,000. Will be basic salary, I have 10,000. You take 5%. I mean, just imagine. That's why I'm just urging you today. Don't forget, I told you I didn't get this opportunity, these tutorials. So you start early. Okay? Say, who said the old Jenny Mowa, Siadie, Nako Wenim, Nabe Chiradi Waha, Chiradi University. That is where doctor started. So that at the end of the day, your pension will be bigger for you. So take note of that. So we call it direct debits. You can instruct your bankers to deduct that amount and place it somewhere for you. Others, direct debit could also be you've contracted a loan from the bank. So definitely they will deduct you, because sometimes it's very good. Me, I'm a businessman, so I can't say I don't owe, but just that I do a calculated one. So if I realize that the banks are charging me if I want to access a loan, all these things are financial literacy that you need to get it right from the start. if the commercial banks are charging 25%, and the credit union in our churches, St. Monica's College of Education Credit Union, they are charging 10%. Why would you go for 25%? Are you getting it? Just that you have that freedom, they have that freedom to spread it for 5 years or so. But when you come here, 10%, 1 year, what year we? So 10%, I would get 20,000. 10% of that, you're saying. And once we try 1-0 more. Okay? 2,000 AUD. Together with the principal. So at the end of the day, we are paying what? 22,000. But when we go to the commercial bank, they are charging 25%. So if you calculate 25% or even 20% of that, at the end of the day, you are paying 2,004, whichever is lower. To your advantage. So little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. And any baby, it's about efficiency and other financial literacy that will really help you to move on in life. So we come to investment. I've gotten to my third point. I said I'm speaking on 5 issues. Investment. Please understand your risk tolerance after you consider your financial goal. What I mean by risk tolerance is that there are other people who have, we call some risk averse, risk takers and stuff like that. I don't think most of you have heard of Piram. Namusa. Yeah, Namususa. Okay. My recent one. Okay. Men's gold. I mean, reasonably, in law, we call something reasonability. What a bystander, average prudent person will do. So, if commercial bank is giving you an interest rate, or let me say Bank of Ghana, is giving you an interest rate of 10%, and somebody comes to tell you, I'll give you 100%. Hey, greedy, let's be very careful, because let's be very, very careful. When we have the opportunity to kind of decide which area we want to invest, let's be very, very careful. Don't let us be so greedy. Even if you are not an expert in finance, don't come and tell me, say, meaning BB about finance or accounting. But if your answer will tell you, say, na Bank of Ghana no kra no 10%. Now we so me 90%. No, you have to raise a flag. So consider your risk tolerance. Some people, in finance, we call it once you take a higher risk, there's possibility of higher returns. So those who started earlier, they were getting 100. Then it's a scheme. Then they siphon your money and get it somewhere. But then, if you cry, what's our commercial bank? And now they are investing or say obey returns no, and they are at the end of the day, you see yourself. So let us be very, very careful when we are taking some of these decisions. And I've told you that we have to start early. That is small. Start small. Invest regularly. And even if it's a small amount, try to save it. And I told you a little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. It's and we also encourage you to diversify your investment portfolios. What I mean is that we don't put all our eggs in one basket. Because eggs need now one basket more. A showa and one. But eggs need be basket B. It be basket A. So basket A, B, C, D. In our form. At least one basket be form. A shoe from Krana. You know that you have other investments somewhere. Please, are you getting my point? So you try to save a hakakra, now save a hakakra. It's a assembly to krana. you'll be able to be sustained. And maybe you can buy shares, you can buy bonds. Bonds are not regular here, but you can buy shares, you can buy bonds. You can also invest in real estate. It's only land that does not depreciate. It's the only investment, or is the only property that always appreciates. That is land. So if you build on the land, we call it immovable property. You cannot take it away. So you realize that every time it appreciates. It does happen a lot in the US and the Canada. They really invest in some of this real estate because a Akosua now a ton, now when you difference, no, then he invests in some. So see other places and avenues where you can invest. So that is that for you. We also have to get ourselves acclimatized with some of this financial education. Like what I'm doing here, you chance upon that opportunity to educate yourself. It might not be your field. You can also read it from internet and stuff like that to always get yourself abreast with issues. At least have a gist of it. I've told you, you might not be an expert, but once you're a teacher, your kids or the Nkrana experts say, you know all. So you have to be reading on some of these things, especially those who will be teaching at the JHS, because some of the JHS, they research and they come. So when read here, they will push you to the wall. They will ask you a lot of questions that you'll find yourself wanting. So they expect that my teacher doing Bibia, maybe she should be able. So get the basics. So you read. And also avoid lifestyle inflation. Yeah, to a ket you ma. Susudi bebre. Mo first now Oda a senior superintendent. Say nyame adom. You'll be moving to principal superintendent from level 14 to level 16. In GS, they go according to levels. But I've gotten the opportunity to work at that place for a long time, so I know Obia salary, the OG level, Obia, I know the OG. So you aspire for higher heights. Don't take the normal promotion. I remember doctor said, now Obia wo GS now we are infield because they will not increase your pay. I'm telling you the culture of GES, Ghana Education Service. So honasa umpewa brasetak ko technical university tutor ko university. Ni na ne say university yantumu ukonkwa dia ubiduru. So please, it's very key. I remember when I chatted about 5 years ago, up to now, no even 10 cedis was added to me as a professional allowance. But when I came here, I'm receiving my professional allowance. Yes, 5 years, not even 10 cedis were added. But those that I chatted with are the controller. More than 200% of what he's receiving once you chatter a controller and audit service. GRA. Once you chatter, your pay will be more than 300%. So I'm not for discount, baby. That is why I'm saying that though this is your stepping stone, but you are not confined here. Explore other avenues. Other lawyers, almost so a fee on a case being as millions of cedis. Just imagine what he's going to charge. So please, you are just lucky to have received this opportunity so that we open your eyes and tell you what is up there so that you take advantage of it and move on. We want to see Simonicans. We are so proud of you. So we want to see you up there. Big institution. So try, move up. And I won't so 6 years, me the woman matre. After that, maybe okay. You push on. So you should have a plan. You should have a plan. Because Obadi, I will there a year. Into 6 years or 5, will be crabby in 4 years. Okay? But all things being equal 6 years, 2. What 3? What sorry so? See how they now move on. Are you getting that? Because that will also it has a correlation with what you be earning. So please don't forget it. So I just said avoid lifestyle inflation. You increase you pay kakra. Na akasisema your day. At the end of the day, you are killing your destiny. So please, let's be, and let's avoid on spending on luxurious things. Debi a me shirt na makana me hu a me 6 years. Kama. Ma horo me twi so me dia hye me khaki trouser ma hye ne 4 years. Hu abeka semono. So let's emulate some of these things. It will help us. I understand you are female. We can say, "Onim the okay can." Because how do I attract men? But you see, let the focus be there. Your qualification where you all other things shall be added unto you. You didn't recover. So that is that. Please, you stay focused. You stay informed. And continuously learn about personal finances, money management, and investing. Please, you read more books and attend seminars. Like I earlier on said, you read more books on this, you attend seminars. And under this point, please, you seek professional advice. So that sometimes there's a clue. Field of word of work, right? There's a strategy in taxation. At the end of the year, if you are married, if you have aged dependent, if you are disabled, you get, even disabled alone, you get 25% of your accessible income. When we say accessible income, I don't want to sound technical, but it's a consolidation of all the incomes that you earn. So employment income, investment income, and then other things. We box all of them together, and there's this calculation on it. So let me just ignore the disabled. But God forbid, we wouldn't have that unfortunate situation, because even lorry accident can make you a disabled, but we pray for or such things that wouldn't happen to us. But when you have an aged person depending on you, when you are married, when you are attending a course, there is certain percentage that the government gives back to you so that it will reduce your tax liability. And government will have something we call cash flow management. Okay, to your level, let me just bring it down. You match up your revenue against your expenditure. So if you are earning 4,000, why would you be spending about 6,000 or 5,000? So where are you getting the difference from? Is it from your boyfriends or whatever, potential husbands? Oh, but that's not fair. That's why we are training you that independently you can also do something on your own. So when that comes to add up, you realize that, because from this first degree and you want to do law, definitely you'll be a part-timer. You'll pay not less than 11,000 a year. So you see, it's not easy. So you need to do something, accumulate certain things, and then you move on so that your main focus at the end of the day, you'll be able to achieve them. Okay, so risk management is very good. Also, sometimes you do some sort of insurance. But with the insurance, I know the insurance guys are coming to you. I wouldn't ill advise you. But when they come, try and still, we are there. Consult us. Sometimes I remember 2001 when I first got my pay slip. They came, I was at Agunawat registrar. They came there, Enterprise Life. Oh, na ya dada me. Ebe si ne that's what me. So you see, but without the investment, say, oh yeah, and they say 20 years later, ubejisa investment, ubejisa is kind of back. It's to your advantage. But they won't tell you because they are paid on commission. How will be convince you, why you know? Any editor, so whatever means we will be convinced you be a more accepted that policy and he's into it. Ebi ye. I'm not saying that it's not good. Some of them, about 70%, is good. So we have to be very, very careful. Some of these things, you try to seek advice with regards to that. So if it's an investment that they are deducting you every month, and at the end of the day, 10 years, 20 years, you're able to get your money back, then it's good. Put him at the end of the day, you know, I've saved 20 years. 20 years now, so that is better. But sometimes you need to get advice from us so that we can tell you what to do. You need to be disciplined and patient. With all this, if you are not disciplined, you can't. I remember insurance is good. When I was transferred here in 2016 to Tepa Senior High School, I left here February. April, I was using the same car with this for the skid. I was going, and I realized that the car stopped. When I got out from the car, I realized that the car has started burning. In fact, there was a seal in the car, the fire extinguisher, the new one. You have to pull the seal. I didn't know. And I was just pressing it. The thing was not coming. My phone in our dashboard. So I was afraid to go to the car and pick my phone to even make a call. And I was there, the car was burning. It started from the engine side, shim, till the thing got down. All that I'm trying to say that it might be because now a late 6:30 thereabouts. So from Bechem Kwanta to Tepa. Na cars need a drew her no because the flame you cannot. Though I parked, I went off. Though I realized that the steer was so hard for me, so I wanted to stop and see what is happening. Oh, Bras, sorry, then. I was just doing this. Only the now my comprehensive insurance. But the me see my third party So I did insurance. So I did a comprehensive one. So at the end of the day, they paid the car for me. What I'm trying to say is that though I didn't get the same car, because I quoted that the car was maybe 70,000. So they will pay you definitely 70,000. But at that time, because of inflation and other things, you cannot use the 70,000 to pay to buy the same car again. But at least about 90%, I was able to add up and I bought. So insurance, they are good. Investments, they are good because there is a risk. You've seen the risk. You've identified the risk, and you want to do something to mitigate it. So it's very good. I'm not saying insurance is not good, but where you are placing your destiny, you have to be very, very careful because of one of these things. So, on this note, I'll end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Efo. We will take, while our snack is getting ready, we will take my brother Collins from GCB. Last year he came, but this year because the speakers were so many, I didn't invite him, but he has still come. So Mr. Collins and Prosper is here. Just some 10 minutes for us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. When I have an opportunity to speak like this, I don't want to waste too much time, so I've told my colleague that we'll be talking for just 10 minutes. And everything that I had to say virtually has been said by my senior colleague here. But one thing that I want to add, I want to talk about investment and savings briefly, just 10 minutes. And I want to come to your level because, when he was giving his presentation, he was mentioning certain formulas, and I was like, these formulas there, we have to go to the finance class to explain them. when you come, for the bankers, when you come, we'll be able to put it, to your level. Now, one thing I want to say that when it comes to investment or money, everything boils down to habits. Hello? Yes. Everything boils down to habits. When it comes to money, whether somebody is going to be rich or poor, it is habits. I don't know how to say habits in Twi. That be, and yes, you buy in America. And yes, you buy. I don't know how to say. So, what I want to say is that, you see, oh, hello, yes, 10 minutes. I'm a time-conscious person, so. But I know we understand habits. So, in our day-to-day, I want to just one person. I want a volunteer, somebody who has a smartphone. When you were dancing, I saw somebody with the who was that? Good. Oh, just yeah. What phone is that? XR 11. Good. Can you tell me, or I just want to use it as an example, how much data you've bought the whole year up to today? Oh, hello. How much have you spent on data the whole of the year for that phone? Uncountable. Do you agree? You know, when my colleague was saying, he was speaking, he said, you record your expenses. Data. That's why I'm saying that when it comes to investment and savings, it is about habits. Obi wo ha sika ton en semwa spending. Hello. A habit. I have a little girl in my house, and you know what I'm teaching her? Whenever she sees coin, and she comes and says, I found money, I tell her, put it in your piggy bank. What you call a susu box. So when you ask that little girl, she's about 8 years, when you ask her, what do you do with money? She says, I will put it in a box. But the typical Ghanaian, when you give the typical Ghanaian child money, first thing you're toffee. So you see, that's why I'm saying that everything that my colleague said, the big English, money and everything, it boils down to a very simple start. The commoner knows habits. What do you do when you have money? So as young teachers that you'll be posted outside, you'll be taking a salary. I've been giving loans for the past 10 years. One advice I'll give to teachers, please, why don't you be a kotokada? Minimum when you talk but obinu di car home come. You see, okotoka, the first thing that you ask a car being the make of the car, whether it is a Honda, whether it's a Toyota. Then for the next question will be, what year was it made? That's for the men. When you are buying a car, because a person will talk Honda first. Then you say, okay, a year being. That's the first question you're asking. When you are taking a loan, please, I know you'll be posted outside, you'll be taking salary. When you are going for a loan, I'm begging you, this advice, you won't get it anywhere. Please ask of the interest rates. Please. Even if you don't know how to calculate it, you ask. You know why? Because, as I said, I've been giving loans for the past 10 years, and I realized that a lot of people, when they are desperate and they go out to take their loans, they don't ask the rates. So, for teachers, we have something we call affordability. So you see, there are agents walking around, just like insurance agents. They are loan agents. They are from the other, I won't mention any names, but they are from the other institutions, not from GCB. They say, oh, we're for yourself. Now, we're sending this kind of mobile money amount the same day. You see, it is what we call, they are baiting you. It is a bait. Because you need the money urgently, you will not ask the interest rate. Then he will give you 10,000 for 5 years. And by the end of the 5 years, you've paid 150,000. Yes, you say, oh my God, because you didn't ask questions. Ghanaians, we don't ask questions. We think that when you ask questions, it means that you are too low. Yes, because he's giving it to you at a rate of 42%. Yes. If we have a board here, I will teach you how to do the simple interest for loans. But we don't have. So 42%, by 5 years' time, you've paid so much that you are just unlock you financially. That small 10,000 that you took. So please, this advice is for the teachers. I know you are going out to be posted. When you are taking a loan, ask of the interest rate, I beg you, and let the person calculate how much you'll be paying at the end of the period. Yes, I loan, you are gone. Investment, it is also a habit. Investment, it is about habits. When you get money, what is the first thing you are thinking about? When money comes into your hand, what is the first thing? So for teachers who are going to be posted, for the first time, when the money comes, she or he wants to buy probably a fridge. You want to set up your room, you got a microwave. That's fine. After buying all those things, then what is next? Please, one thing that I want to advise all of us, please cultivate a habit of investing. Saving to invest. There's a difference between saving and investing. I don't talk too much about savings because inflation will erode all your savings. So what I'm saying, in simple terms, what I'm saying is that what 1,000 cedis bought yesterday, it will not be able to buy tomorrow. So when you keep your money in the account, that you are doing savings, inflation will eat the money. Now, I don't know how to say it to you, but I know you understand. Something I want to say is so that you understand. Into cement bag, me cement 20 Ghana cedis and 100. Simple terms, inflation. So I encourage more of investment. So that's why my colleague is here. When we finish, let's allow him 5 minutes to tell you about investment product. Don't do savings. If you are saving, save to invest. Hello? Because inflation will kill your savings. It will reduce the value of the money. You see, those of us who hoarded dollars some time ago when it was 17 cedis, 16 cedis, now it is 11 cedis. You've lost out. Hello? That is how finances. So I encourage people, please listen to the news sometimes. The TikTok is too much. The TikTok, it is a habit too. Once you get hooked on your data, that's why I was asking you about data. Because you see people on TikTok, they are not doing anything, they are not getting any information. They just come there, post and dance. And then the data gets finished, then they will buy. So every month you spend like 200 cedis on data. Because you are not recording, the day they send you your bill, that this is how much you spend on data. Wow, you're show. But that money, if you give it to my gentleman here for Wealth Master for 4 years, as a young teacher, as you were doing the calculation, I was watching the money he was saying. He says you'll be taking around 3,900. Give or take, you are not married. If you have a younger sister you are helping, give or take, you can save 400 a month. That 400, don't leave it in your GCB account or in your Barclays account. Tell the gentleman that every month, take that money and put it somewhere for me. And in 4 years, you'll be surprised at how much you've earned because we compound the interest. It is a habit. When is and he was talking about it. Yeah, so comprehensive insurance, papa. Because comprehensive insurance, they take almost 3 times what they take for third party. But the day a car never you'll be smiling. Hello? And you need to, spending, you have to be frugal. Some people are excessive. That's why I said that talking about finance, I don't talk about finance because it is your habits that will determine your finance. That's why somebody can take 100,000 cedis, another person is taking 50,000, but the 50,000 will be able to do more than the 100,000 because he has a spending habit that is affecting all the money that comes. So if you cultivate the habit, once you start earning salary, if you are able to tell yourself, I am going to invest for just 4 years with Wealth Master, and at the end of you stick to it like your tithes. Or like your prayer in the morning, and you stick to it. You take as you animano, you animano. Because I tell you, 400 Ghana cedis, Oji every company no ubedi unhu the other. Hello. Ode say o pese unhu the American no oti ase. So be person o chose scam and send ma mobile money na hwe. Whether you can save it. Ode your boyfriends. Or buy a person or send him a mobile money as asa before a bedroom phone. So, you know why? Because your phone, you use your phone for the buying of little things. But when there's no money on the phone, you are okay. You understand? So that's why I said I have 2 minutes more. I just want to wrap up. For GCB, we have investment products. And that's why I'm saying, please don't save the money. And can say me yes savings. Sikana be shit and I so bete. O be say yes savings are more money or no more investment amount. You see, I did a child policy about 8 years ago. Child policy. That time I was paying, they were taking 200 a month. And I did incremental value. Incremental value is afibia or being home. And it's for 10 years. Somebody will say, when you tell the typical Ghanaian, the teacher, that invest for 10 years, say, 10 years they are doing. Akosua do betra 8 years because it's CAA. Mahama 4 years and Beba is CAA. You see how time flies? So 10 years is not a long time. I'm telling you, the other time I asked that they surrender the money to me. Me, myself, I was surprised at the money I will be getting at the end of 10 years. I will be smiling. I say, I will walk up. But I'm not telling you, no, but me, my dream fees, 200 every month, 200 cities. I also said, Dawson. It was a who year movie. It's not Obama Bank and I had direct debit, no matter. I say tax. You can say, yeah, this kind of money and send a tax in your tea and can buy over. So that's why they take it up front. So you tell the banks, take the money up front. Don't let me even see the money. Because when you are, and you say spend it, go and spend it. And then wait for the 4 years. If you think that 10 years is too long for you, do the 4 years. After all, when you came to level 100, do you remember in 4 years you are about finishing? If you started 4 years ago, the amount of money, depending on your ability, so you start with 100 cities. The little, every month you get 100. Every month, total data more than 100 cities, tell me. I'm telling you, once that data, no, I drink also. You check credits that you buy. It's more than 100 cities. The data alone. Aside, because you want to go on TikTok, so start little. 100 cities. It won't hurt you. Next year, we'll be going for salary increments. Salary increments. What are you going to do with that increment? You can tell your bank, increment. Because you see, at a point in time in life, you are able to spend within a certain limit. Unim say, every month, we are made 5,000. It is a buying between 5,000, the 200 become 5,000, 200, I'm finding investment amount. A man in that account, say, savings. Savings. Inflation will erode the benefit of savings. Invest. This is the gospel. Amen. All right, so I'll just give Prosper 5 minutes. Okay, just 5 minutes to talk about our investment products. Just 5 minutes, and I'm conscious of time. 5 minutes. I beg you. Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I acknowledge you, sir, for giving this platform. Okay, I think he made mention of child education, and let me start with that one. Child education plan is a sort of a plan you can do for your ward. Everyone who has a child can opt in for this. And I advise every parent do this kind of a plan for the child. Says it goes a long way to help. Insurance, in the first place, sort out for risk and try to absorb that risk component. And the greatest risk every man or everyone can suffer from is death, or maybe anything that will have to do with your health, that will trouble your health. So in this case, if you are on the child education plan, first, after contributing for the first 6 months or more than 6 months, if anything in a form of accident occurs and you are unable to go onto your work or do your normal work activities, you'll be given the sum that we are sure to give the 10-year period of time. It is a 10-year period minimum. I think I'm making myself clear here. It is a 10-year time period of saving or of investment. So you commit yourself to something, it is suspended from your account on a monthly basis. For instance, if you commit yourself to 100 cedis every month, ideally after 10 years it will be 12,000, sure. And we add about more than 50% to it, making it 18,600 thereabouts. And look at how huge the interest rate is. It's very flamboyant. It goes a long way to help. So having 18,000 to just deposit 100 cedis every month is quite good. So assuming you do it for the first time, for the first month, and you have yourself involved in accident, we are sure to pay that 18,000, although you have paid for once, that is 100 cedis. Assuming you pay for the first 6 months, which is 600 Ghana cedis, we also are sure to pay that 18,000. Suppose you get yourself involved in anything that makes you paralyzed or that will get you in a condition that you can't work again. We also promise to pay that money. That is the 18,000. So that is all with the child education plan. And the wealth master is a saving plan. I think those of us who don't have children or haven't given a child yet, we can also go in for the wealth master. It has a minimum term of 4 years. And after the 4 years, we add something to it. But the interest rate is not as much as the child education. But yes, still you are getting something and you get your money in the long run. So for instance, maybe you are committing yourself to 100 cedis every month. That 100 cedis, ideally it will be somewhere around 4,800. We add something to it, which makes it revolve around 5,500 and 5,200 thereabouts. Someone will say that the interest is very minute in this case, but not forgetting we are buying the risk component attached to it. I wasn't even specific about the amount you are getting at the long run because we factor in age. And suppose maybe you are old, you'll be paying something, you'll be having a minimum amount of interest as compared to someone who is of less age. So for instance, I'm 25 years old, contributing for 100 cedis, maybe I'll be getting 5,500. But maybe you are also 54 years and you are enrolled on this product. You will be getting maybe 5,200 thereabout. It won't be the same because we believe that the aged is prone to maybe death or will maybe have health issues than the one who are the younger ones, So in this case, we factor in age. So it's a 4-year plan. You commit yourself to something deducted by the bank, and at the end of the period, we add something to it and we credit it to your account. I think I will end it here. I don't know if we should open the forum for any question. Was I moving so fast? Okay. I have 2 minutes. I think there was a hands up. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So we have 4 products in all, but due to our time, I decided to go in for 2. So should I talk about the third one? Okay, the third one has to do with life. It's a life cover, a 10-year life cover. In this case, it has a minimum term of 10 years. So assuming if you are on this product and you go to the hospital and you are diagnosed of maybe a liver problem, kidney problem, anything critical, everything critical, that will require a chemo, a dialysis or whatsoever, the bank comes in as far as you are on this product. And as I've just said, it's 10-year period of time. The minimum is 10 years. So assuming nothing happens within the 10 years, you have every dime you have contributed plus 5% interest. But if something of such happen, being it critical illness, and even it goes even beyond, even accident, it factor in accident. So suppose maybe you've made the first contribution and you had yourself involved in accident. We go in to give you the sum assured. In this case, you will choose an amount. For instance, you can come to the banking hall. Maybe I want to get 30,000 if I have to get myself involved in accident. Based on that 30,000, we factor in your age and we will accumulate what you'll be paying every month. So suppose you choose 300,000. Let me use someone who walked in recently as a case study. The person chose 30,000 and was to pay the amount was not even up to 300 cedis, but it was almost 300 cedis. So assuming if he make the first payment and get himself involved in accident, we are sure to pay that 30,000 to him. But that 30,000, we apportion 50% towards your treatment, and the other 50% towards total and permanent disabled. For instance, you can be operated, or the doctor can work on you right now and tell you that you can't work again. In that case, we give you the 100% of the money. But suppose you can work again, we give 50% towards that. And since the product is going to last for 10 years, assuming maybe you get yourself involved in that accident or critical illness maybe in the 2nd year whilst on the product, and maybe as time goes on the 8th year, the doctor declares you that, oh, right now, looking at your health condition, you can't be working again. In that case, we give the other 50% we didn't give in the initial stage to you, so that when you go home, you have something to hold on to. Assuming you are sick and you have nothing to eat as well, I think that would be a very huge trouble. Do you get it? Sure. So in this case, it goes a long way to help. You have nothing to lose. It is a 10-year plan. If nothing happens within the 10 years, you have everything you've paid plus 5% interest. And suppose something happens, you have the sum we assure you. And even, let me use that man I said came in for 30,000. He's paying 300, let's say 300 cedis approximately. He's paying 300 cedis. 300 cedis for a year will be 3,600. Multiplying it by 10, that will be 36,000. So 36,000 Ghana cedis being contributed, and we are showing you to give you 30,000. That will be 36,000. Sorry, 36,000. So in this case, we are giving about almost 10 folds of what you are contributing. We are giving almost 10 folds of what you are contributing. Suppose you have critical illness or you have accident. And suppose if nothing happens, you also have your money. So that has to do with the ultimate protection plan. This one is a life product. And in this case, you can't surrender, you can't come in for any claim until there is a critical illness or there is an accident or the term of the product have elapsed. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Bosco. Any question for the bankers and FO as well? Yes. Let me acknowledge the presence of my brother Nuruddin from KUMASI. The actually traffic in Ayana is serious. It's traffic chain from Joy TV. So this Nuruddin, you're welcome. Yeah, questions. So get us a mic. You tell us your name and whom you are directing your question to. Let it be short and brief.
I'm Rodanyako. To the bankers, last 3 years ago, I happened to invest some amount at GCB Bank, which was roughly 8,000 plus, and straight was, I think, 9 months per annum. For 6 months, I made a deposit of 8,000 for 6 months, which was the fixed deposit, and the interest was 9 per annum. 9%. Yes, 9% per annum. Okay. And at that time, I didn't know much about it. It was my uncle that led me to the bank. So after it, I came home and with the little percentages, and I I came to work it and it was about 300 cedis for the whole 6 months. And I'm into mobile banking, Momo banking. And I realized that when at that time I was using 2,000 cedis. And at the end of the month, I can get a commission of maybe 1,000, 1,200 and investing about 8,000 and getting 300 cedis for 6 months. I didn't like it, so after 6 months, I went to take back my money. So looking at this, I don't know, but I think it's not a fair deal because me using 2,000, I can get more than that. And now that, let me say, last 3 months that I was using about 5,000, I could get 3,000 as my commission or interest. And looking at 8,000, getting 300 cedis for 6 months. So I want to know why is that so? Thank you.
Let's get another question. Okay.
Okay, then let me answer mine. Okay, I didn't get the name, but I got your question. Yes, fixed deposits, investment, treasury bills. You know, when I was making my comments, I was telling you that I was urging you to listen to the news. Now, this year, when we started the year, treasury bill rate per annum was 26%. Hello. Today, when we're beginning the year, so 2nd January, when we're beginning the year, it was 26% per annum. So if you had 100,000 as at then, and you invested it for 1 year, you would have gotten 26% on the 100,000. Now, if you waited till today, and you still have 200,000, and you want to invest in the same treasury bill, do you know the rate you are getting? 8%. Same treasury bill, 8%. Why? Because of economic factors. I don't want to go in to answer your question. But you see, around this time of the year, or this year especially, government is not borrowing. Hello? Yes. Government says that it will not borrow from the public. Treasury bill and fixed deposit, it is lending. Sika. Or say, the way you come for loans from the banks, Mekacha will say, I will give you an interest rate of, let's say, 20%. It is the same with treasury bill. You have your money. You say, government, my money is sitting down. I'm not using it for anything. I want to lend it to you. Then government will say, okay, me too, I need money to pay contractors and teachers. You give me the money. I'll give you an interest of 26%. It is the same. So if you have money and then you want to invest, that's why I was talking about interest rates. That when you're going to take a loan, ask of the interest. When you're coming to take any investment, ask of the interest. Ask. So fixed deposits, treasury bills, they are determined by economic factors. So if you did a fixed deposit 3 years ago, it is not the same as doing business with the money. Mobile money is business. Hello? Yes. The money sitting down idle in a bank. That's why I wasn't encouraging savings. I was telling you, don't do savings, do investment. Now, when it comes to investment, there are a lot of questions to ask. I will not use this platform to go into all of them. But we have simple interest for some of them. We have compounding interest for some of them. So you will choose. So fixed deposit, yes, me as a banker, to be very sincere with you, if I have money lying down, do fixed deposits. Hello? So it is about getting the right information before you do the investment. I will do treasury bill. The bankers, we also invest though. We also take loans. So it's about what the knowledge you have at the point that you have the money. Hello? So I don't know whether I've answered your question, but you see, fixed deposits are down there because you see, the fixed deposit carries less risk. I don't want to go into investments. It carries less risk. Well, what it means is that FM bank now the firm are buying. If you come today, that are buying, I need the money today, he will give it to you. He will surrender the value and give it to you. That's why the interest is small. But for the other investments, that's why when he was talking, he says that there are some of the investments, the compound interest is big. So when you come and say, oh, they won't surrender it to you. So it's a huge investment is a whole topic on its own. We can't use 10 minutes to talk about it. But all that I want to conclude is that anytime you have some money and you want to invest, you seek knowledge about it, ask questions. I like to ask questions. When I'm going to the hospital and you are injecting me, I'll ask, doctor, what are you injecting me with? I mean, to know. I want to know what you are giving me. The typical Ghanaian will say, we have to know. Ask questions. So please, when you have money and you want to invest, you ask questions and then you get the answers before you make that decision. Even when you are buying land, you ask questions. Maybe a land not on the dry season, you see a waterlog, you didn't know. So you need to ask questions. So for fixed deposit and investment and all those things, if you have time and anytime you want to invest, ask questions, seek knowledge about it before you put your money there. Okay, so that's my little answer for that. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Ethel, please, I wanted to ask about the statutory deduction. As SNIT part of the statutory deduction, or after we've been posted, we will have to go to the SNIT office to tell them that they should start deducting from our money, from our salary. And my second question is that of the automated transfer. Yeah, so will the bank tell us that with the automated transfer, we should use it for savings, or we are the ones to instruct them that we should use it for investment? So these are my two questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me add to what my brother just said. During his presentation, he intimated that when you go, ask of the interest. My lady, so I was trying to give you a formula, but that formula I will give it to you. Whether you like it or not, you will have it. That will help you. Okay. Please pass this paper around. Fast. So it's 1 plus R into brackets raised to the power N. So you invested 8,000. Okay? They told you, they've not cheated you. Listen to me. They told you it's 9%. So the formula, you will see, 9% is 0.09 plus the 1 will give you 0.09, 1.09. Raise the power because it's 6 months. So it's less than a year. So half. So you get roughly 720 or 700 and something for the whole year. So when you divide it by half, if it were to be 1 year, it's because it's per annum. Per annum means within a year. So 6 months, it means a half. So half of 720 will give you there about 3. So are you getting it? So we come and add it to the principal. So they didn't cheat you. That's why he was asking. He was insisting. Ask of the interest rate. Okay. And let me also add, when you finish and you are entering into the world proper, when you are posted, you go to a section called IPPD, where they call all of you. You come and give your data. So at that time, if some of you had not registered with SNIT, it's a compulsion, whether you like it or not. So you register, and you have your SNIT number. And that SNIT number, there is a form, input forms, where all your personal details will be slated in. So when they start paying you, automatically, that 5% plus the employees adding on, so that one is automatic. Have you answered? Have I answered you? Okay, so that is that. So from here, when you go out and you are being posted, they will collect some data from you. If you had not done the SNIT, they will instruct you to go to SNIT, and you have a SNIT number. It's that SNIT number that will input it into the input form to fill, so that controller will take care of that. So when it's coming, it's part of statutory deductions, and they will deduct you. And the second question was what? Yeah, you have to. I told you, nothing can be, if you've not told the bank, they cannot do anything. So it's an instruction that you are giving them. So it's like, I will go with them. I mean, the savings lying idle. You can instruct them to put these savings into an investment account where, because of inflation and other things, the money would not lose its value. Are you getting it? So it's an instruction that will come from you, like he was giving you the product they offer. So if you think the child policy or whatever policy is good for you, you will instruct them to do an automatic distance. So they will get some input form to controller, and controller will deduct it directly, and it will hit into the bank account. So you will have to instruct them for them to effect that distance. Are you getting it? So there's a form that you have to sign. So it means that when the form is not signed by you, and you are being deducted. And so let me also chip this in. Most of you try to keep your data to yourself, your personal data. Because I've also realized that when you go out, some people also chance upon your staff ID numbers. There are so many falsification going on. You've never even instructed any bank or any insurance company. You realize that you are being deducted. So every month, make sure that you print your pay slip, go through it. Whatever you've not instructed the bank or whatever institution to deduct you, then it means that it's a serious case. Get a lawyer. It's a nice case for us to handle some of these things. I remember what pushed me to this kind of law is that I went to buy land. I didn't know anything. You see, there are so many processes. So get to the experts, okay? Ask questions. Like you were saying, when you go to ask questions, right? So that the right information will be given you. So, yeah, you may find frying in a shame and I'm go remu. So, so me say there are basic things. Now say me bisa. So simple. We didn't know. We think we know. That's why we are urging you that go for professional advice and stuff like that. Advices that they wouldn't charge you. I mean, we are friends or whatever. Bra, you be more free. But they do baby they are no pro bono. And they will definitely have to charge. But these basic things you'll be advised on so that you wouldn't.
All right, thank you very much. Our next presentation is on Zoom. And so once he's able to log in, we would start. He's trying to log in. Once it enters, then we will do that one before we take our snack. Okay? I hope that's fine. Yes, we are learning. Let's learn. When we are done, we will eat.
So, hey, I said pass it round. You've written, you put it on your platform. So the one is the principal, okay? So into bracket, 1 plus the R, the small r, is the interest rate. And the N, period. Okay? So if you want to invest a constant figure, like 10 years from the bank, you'll be able to know it from now. The bank is telling you, I'm giving you maybe 10% interest rate. And some of the interest rates, some are